I'm Susan Sanderson. I teach here at Your Dog's Friend, and I also do privates in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. And this is my dog Falco. He's an English Shepherd, and he and I are going to be showing you all how to teach your dog to come when called. And it's also called a recall, if you hear me use that term. That's what it means. So let me just tell you really quickly how we're going to do this. I'm just going to give you a real quick scenario. I like to get the dog kind of creating a little bit of a pattern, moving away from me, coming back to me, just kind of naturally on their own. And to do that, I'm just going to toss a piece of food out and reward him when he turns around and comes back to me. And then we'll add a cue to that, meaning we'll add the come here or the come. So let's get this started, buddy. Okay, I'm going to toss a couple pieces out. I've got some stuff out here so that you can see it. Yes. So I'm saying my little verbal marker when he gets to me to tell him that what he just did I like. Yes. And I'm also taking a little bit of a step back because that kind of gets him particularly interested in, yes, coming back to me. I'm kind of making some space for him. And it also keeps me from leaning over him. Yes, good boy. Because if I were to kind of lean over him out here, that would be just about as far as he would ever come to me. So I want to make sure that when I feed him, when I reinforce him, that I'm doing it really close to my body. So I have a dog who is just kind of naturally moving back to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a cue to it. And you can use whatever word you like. For us, it's come here. And I like to use a cue instead of just his name, because if there's an emergency and we're out someplace, the person who's trying to get his attention will probably use some word like come or here or over here or hey pup pup. They won't know the dog's name. So I want that to be really strong. I want this cue to be really strong with him as opposed to just using his name. So yeah. Come here. Yes. And so I'm adding that cue as soon as I see him finish that food. Come here. Yes. And I'm marking it as soon as he begins to move back towards me. Come here. Yeah, good boy. Nice. So let's try it a couple more times. Come here. Yes. Beautiful. Nice. And again, I'm still keeping that feeding really close to my body. I think that's really, really critical. Because the next thing I just want to show you is a nice thing to be able to do when your dog does get close into you is to be able to grab their collar or touch their collar or their harness so you can leash them up in case you really do need to get them out of trouble. So let's try that again. So come here. Yes. Beautiful. So I'm just going to feed him there. Nice. I'm just kind of touching his collar. Come here. Yes. Beautiful. I'm just kind of playing with it a little bit, feeding him so that he starts to associate my touching that collar, slipping my finger underneath it with something good. So, come here. Yes. Good boy. Really nice. So that's sort of the basic structure of how you can get your dog to begin coming to you. I like to start this just like this in a small area. There's no need to start this if you're going to be, out in a field with a whole lot of distractions. So I would just be, he obviously wants to play. I would just be, yes, good boy. Yeah, I would just start it in your home, in a quiet place, or in your backyard if that's a place where your dog can focus. Really, do those first tosses no more than a few feet away. And then remember to take that little bit of a step back when you're reinforcing them close to your body. We can also do this with a toy. And so it just looks the same way. I'm going to toss something out there, a little piece of food out there when he comes in. Come here. Yes, beautiful. And he is getting reinforced by playing with that toy. Although, look, he sees a little bit of food there. Yeah, but eat. There you go. Okay. So it's really anything that your dog finds reinforcing, go ahead and give that to them as soon as they come to you. Even running away from them can be reinforcing for a lot of dogs. And that sort of goes along with the idea of my taking that step back. Nice, good boy. So start practicing in a quiet area, in a small area. When you get more comfortable, you can take this out on the road. I love to practice it putting a leash on my dog, just my regular 6-foot leash, and I just randomly will call him and take a few little steps back and reinforce, just when we're on walks. Every repetition counts. Even if you're not calling your dog from 30 feet, every repetition counts. And when you do feel like you have got a lot of nice repetitions close in, you can take it maybe to a field and put a 15-foot leash on your dog or a 30-foot leash on your dog and just play this same game. You can toss something out, just call them back in, or you can just kind of randomly call them, you know, when they're sniffing something. And then remember to take that little step back so that they're coming into you. You can also play some games with other people. I love something called just like a round robin, which you get 2 or more people, 3, 4, getting in a circle, and the dog is in the middle, and one person calls the dog at a time, they feed, the next person calls the dog and then feeds. I'll also play like a hide-and-seek game in my house, where Falco might be in the next room sniffing something, and I'll, in a very happy voice, just call his name, and as soon as he comes to me, I will make a beeline with him to the kitchen, so that I can get him something that he enjoys, or the toy basket if that's what he's digging today. So that is all I have for you all today. If you have any questions, you can email me. I think my email is included in this video. And have fun doing this. Thanks.